Want to know one of the most powerful psychological tricks that most people overlook? It's not what you say, it's what you don't say. In this video, I'm going to show you how silence, yes, silence, can make you more persuasive, more confident, and more in control in almost any situation. We're naturally uncomfortable with silence. We rush to fill it, to break the tension. But that silence, it holds a power most people never tap into. Stay with me and discover how to use it to transform your conversations. Silence is about understanding the deeper needs, the why behind the words. Why do we feel compelled to fill those empty spaces in conversation? Because we're hardwired for connection, and silence feels like a disruption to that flow. But here's the paradox. That perceived disruption, that tension, is where the magic happens. When you create space for silence after making a point, after asking a question, you shift the dynamic. You empower the other person to truly consider, to reflect, and to reveal more of themselves. Think about it. When someone goes quiet after you've spoken, doesn't it force you to confront their words more deeply? It's in those moments of quiet contemplation that true understanding and true connection can occur. This isn't about manipulation, it's about creating an environment where authenticity can flourish. Silence allows people to find their truth, to articulate their thoughts without feeling rushed or pressured. It's in that space that genuine communication takes root. This power of silence is deeply rooted in our psychology. We crave social harmony, and silence, especially after a direct question, creates a sense of unease, of unfinished business. This is what we call social discomfort. Most people will do anything to alleviate that discomfort, to restore equilibrium. They'll talk, they'll explain, they'll overshare, all to fill that void. Imagine this. You're interviewing a candidate for a job. You ask, "Why do you think you're the right fit for this role?" And then, silence.
The candidate fidgets, their eyes dart around, and then they launch into a long-winded, detailed answer, revealing far more than they initially intended.
That's the power of silence in action. So how can you harness this power of silence in your own life? Let's look at a few scenarios.
In interviews, silence after a well-placed question can be your greatest ally. Ask something thought-provoking, then resist the urge to jump in. The longer the pause, the more pressure builds, and the more revealing their answer will be.
In sales or negotiations, silence can be your secret weapon. After presenting your offer, go quiet. Let the other party break the silence first. You'll be surprised by what they're willing to concede when they feel the weight of that empty space.
In the heat of an argument, resist the urge to immediately defend your position. Let the other person speak. Let them unravel their own argument in the face of your calm silence. You'll find they often talk themselves into a corner, creating an opportunity for resolution.
And in everyday conversations, try asking open-ended, meaningful questions, then simply listen. Hold space for the other person to share, without interruption. You'll be amazed by how much people open up when they feel truly heard.
Now, a word of caution. The power of silence lies in its confident stillness, not in using it as a weapon to make others uncomfortable. It's not about intimidation, it's about creating a space for authenticity. Avoid dramatic sighs, eye rolls, or any body language that conveys impatience or disapproval. True power lies in your stillness. Be present, be genuinely curious, and let the silence work its magic. Remember, the goal is not to manipulate or coerce, but to create an environment where genuine communication can flourish. When you approach silence with respect and a genuine desire to understand, it becomes a tool for building trust and deepening connections. This is about mastering the art of listening, of being present in the moment, and allowing the other person to feel truly heard. It's about shifting the focus from yourself to the other person, creating a space for them to shine. Let's say an employee approaches their manager for a raise. They confidently lay out their accomplishments, their willingness to go the extra mile, and then pause.
The manager, feeling the weight of that silence, begins to speak, revealing budgetary flexibility and exploring options that weren't initially on the table.
The employee, by mastering the power of silence, avoided the need to oversell themselves. They created a space for the manager to step forward and engage in a more meaningful dialogue.
This is just one example of how silence can shift the dynamic in your favor, leading to outcomes you might not have thought possible. It's about understanding the subtle cues, the unspoken language of communication, and using it to your advantage.
Start using silence in your conversations, your meetings, your relationships. It's subtle but powerful. Sometimes the most persuasive thing you can say is nothing at all. If you found this tip helpful, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Where will you try the power of silence this week?